There we go. And I'm going to come back. Here we go. The Exceptional Conservative Show, live from Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen. Not even going to have to play any music behind it. Because we will get to the growing chorus of people that want to make the nation of Guyana a territory of the United States of America. But I want to hit on this point here before we go on. I have not seen anywhere, and if someone can show me, I will recant my statement. I will refute myself. But I have not seen anywhere where Rush Limbaugh called Senator Kamala Harris, or however way she wishes to say her name, the Democrat Marxist vice presidential candidate. He never called her a hoe. Never. Now, he made some references, and this is the thing that makes those references uncomfortable for the left. It's not the first time that the left has to contend with the fact that Kamala Harris, when she was 30 years old, was sleeping and sucking and all other things with a 60-year-old married man, Willie Brown. Yeah, okay. Let's just be real here. Willie Brown's in his 80s. And they asked him, was he still having a relationship with Kamala Harris? He said no. Okay, so who's upset about this? Is it the left that's upset? Yes, they are upset. Because now they have, Black Lives Matter had to go all out of their way to kind of curve around the fact that Kamala Harris and her family's ancestors owned slaves and made the family exceptionally wealthy. She's living off that wealth. Yeah, the same woman that refused to give up evidence that led to 2 prisoners being killed. Yeah, this is the same woman. The same woman. So Kamala Harris was 30 years old when she ran into Willie Brown. Willie Brown was 60. And they say this is the way they put it. Okay, when asked, Snopes or Snoops, however way you wish to say it. And this is an article. Wait a minute, let me just put this in the chat room because I don't want people in the chat room thinking I'm making this stuff up. So I did already. Okay, good. Snopes put out this particular story. It was done 14th of August 2020. Okay, that was 3 days ago. So going into the Democrat Marxist convention, Kamala Harris has a lot to deal with. She's not out defending herself. She has to have surrogates come out, and I didn't see any surrogates come out for her or for Biden this weekend. None whatsoever. The left is upset. They are paranoid that they look like hypocrites to the rest of the world, because literally they are hypocrites to the rest of the world. Remember how they got all over Melania Trump. Oh, Melania Trump, she's a hoe. Look at her. She posed nude. Look at her when she was younger. She's a hoe. The woman can speak 5 different languages. A brilliant woman. One of the most compassionate individuals on the face of the earth. But they went back because they were upset that the people on the right were bringing up the fact that Obama's mother also posed nude. Obama's mama posed nude. Donald Trump's wife posed nude. They called her everything under the sun but a child of God. All right? Flash forward. Kamala Harris, who was once Caucasian, then became Indian, and then became black. Now, I know a lot of people would like to figure out how you do that shape-shifting thing to get to that point, or that color-shifting thing to get to that point, but there you go. She went from ethnicity to a race in 0 to 60 in a flash, just like that. So, all of a sudden, she becomes a Black Lives Matter senator. And Black Lives Matter now has to deal with the fact that they're negotiating with a woman whose ancestors owned slaves. But wasn't she adamantly opposed to the segregationist Joe Biden, the racist Joe Biden? Yeah, see, all of a sudden, that tea cup that was glued together is beginning to break apart. And stuff is beginning to seep out. So the left has had to deal with one very embarrassing thing for Kamala Harris. Willie Brown's not dead yet. Willie Brown's kicking. He's alive. And Willie Brown is a showman. Willie Brown wants to be in front of the camera. Willie Brown wants to be seen. He wants to be known. He wants to talk about the fact that he hit up on that 30-year-old girl when he was 60. Now, Snopes, and this is Bethania Palmer who wrote this on the 14th, knowing full well that Kamala Harris feels embarrassed, the left, the Democrat Marxists, feel embarrassed. They had something on Donald Trump and his wife. Now they got a candidate who, well, I don't know if Kamala posed nude. We need to find out. That way, we'll all be even across the board. Vice presidential nominee Kamala Harris had an extramarital affair with former San Francisco mayor and state assembly speaker Willie Brown, who gave her 2 political appointments that launched her political career. That's the claim. Okay? And Willie Brown says the claim is true. I was hitting it, I was slapping it up and down, and I gave her a couple of jobs, gave her a couple of gigs out of the deal. This is how Snopes says it. Snopes refused to say that Willie Brown's telling the truth. In fact, they want to call Willie Brown a liar. So this is how they do it. They say this is what's true, this is what's false. Here's the true part. For all of you following along at home, this is what's true. Harris did date former San Francisco mayor and state assembly speaker Willie Brown for a period of time between 1994 to 1995. Now, I'm going to tell you, she got a lot of mileage out of 1 year. That's just... She must be all that in a bag of chips. She got a whole lot out of 1 year. In his capacity, I digress, as speaker, Brown appointed her to 2 political posts. First, to the California Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board, and then to the Medical Assistance Commission. So let me get this straight, because I've been accused of being a little slow. All right, she didn't have these jobs before she was getting it with Willie Brown. She didn't have those jobs, but after she was hitting it with Willie Brown, she got them jobs. Okay, so wait a minute. Before, after. Did she sleep her way into those jobs? Doesn't sound like she slept much, according to Willie Brown. But yes, she slept her way into those jobs, which according to the Urban Dictionary would make her a... not just something Santa says when he comes down the chimney. Here's what Snopes says is false about it. Although Brown was technically still married. See, this is how you know that they have become a Black Lives Matter informant center. Because they try to tear up happy homes. They're just trying to tear up families and everything. Here you go. Although Brown was technically still married. Technically. On paper. He was married on paper. He wasn't married in real. He was married on paper. Although he was technically still married, which would make you what? Married. During the time period that he dated Harris, he had been estranged from his wife, Blanche Brown, for more than a decade. Harris's first successful run for office in 2003 happened well after the relationship ended and Harris sought to distance herself from Brown. Wait a minute. Snopes? That's not what makes her a... This is what makes her... okay? That she banged with Willie Brown and she was not employed with the government, and after she banged with Willie Brown, she was then employed with the government. She got 2 government jobs. Not 1, but 2 government jobs. California Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board, and then the Medical Assistance Commission. So at 30, she went from an income of $40,000 a year to well over $120,000. So Snopes or Snoops, whatever you're saying, stop trying to cover up for the Democrat Marxists. If this was a Republican, y'all would straight up call her a capital H, capital O. You would call her that in a heartbeat and condemn her for her actions. But because she's a Democrat Marxist, oh no, we have closed that book. Oh, it's so wrong for you men to be so misogynistic, and you're looking at her in that particular fashion. I am just so upset. Oh, how could you, fellow feminists? I can't believe it. I just can't. I can't believe that you all would talk about her in such a fashion. She's a woman. That qualifies her to be a... So, I think I've proven my point in terms of that right there. Now, this is the case for Rush Limbaugh. Because we already established the fact that Kamala Harris is a... I didn't say it. Okay? I can spell it, but I can't say it. H-O. She B-A. There you go. Okay. So, everything Rush Limbaugh has said about Kamala Harris is being reported by MSN, Newsweek. Okay? They want to put this out here so that you can be angry with Donald Trump and also with Rush Limbaugh. You got to be angry with Donald Trump for giving him the Medal of Honor. And you're mad with him for giving the Medal of Honor to a man who called Kamala Harris a... But I want you to know tonight that Rush Limbaugh never called her a... Although she qualifies for being a... She was never called one. Okay? Just like she's not qualified to be vice president based on the content of her character. She's only qualified to be vice president because she's the best black female available. Which says a lot for a lot of black women who have generations of blacks who have lived in this country and have been a part of slavery and everything else and have been born here, you know, and they ain't having any immigration issues or nothing like that. Apparently, you're black enough to vote for Democrat Marxists, but you're not immigration challenged enough to be a Democrat Marxist. There you go. You're qualified to vote for Democrat Marxists because you're black, but you got to have immigration issues in order to be a real black in the Democrat Marxist Party. So, Dave Milner says here, in real terms, that's what she is. It's the technical definition of... I can't see, Dave, I can't say... I can only say H-O. Okay? Because if I say, then the left will be upset with me. They will be mad with me because I called her a... But I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't dare come on national TV and call her a... Just because she got 2 good government jobs for getting banged by Willie Brown in 1 year. That must be some good banging, man. That's some good loving. All right? Well paid. Well paid. You know what they call that elsewhere? They call that being a... But I can't say she was a... Because that would just be mean to call her a... Like that. Can't do that. That's not professional. Alright? And I'm a professional. I'm not going to call her a... because that would be unprofessional. So Snopes says that Willie Brown is lying, that she's not but he's also telling the truth, and that makes her okay. So there you go. Now, this is what Rush Limbaugh has said. Rush Limbaugh has repeatedly referenced a sexist slur, according to Newsweek. According to Newsweek, he's referenced a sexist slur about how she brazenly slept her way into politics on his radio show. That's the quote. Brazenly slept her way. I am upset with Rush Limbaugh because apparently Rush Limbaugh doesn't know the definition of being a... Okay? If he knew what a... He would just go ahead and say she's a... But he tried to be diplomatic about it. You see, that's a man who's well skilled in the art of communication. He tried to be as communicative and as diplomatic as he possibly could. Kind of like you call a prostitute in San Francisco a sex worker. You see, he was trying to say something nice about her, even though she's still doing the craft. Okay? He didn't call her a... What he said was she brazenly slept her way. Now, I can understand why Kamala Harris and her team would be upset, because it doesn't appear to Willie Brown that she did a lot of sleeping. Okay, I just want... You don't do any sleeping to get 2 big jobs that pay you up to $142,000 a year. And you're 30 years old and got no experience. What's on your resume? I worked at CVS. You qualify to be on the unemployment board. Right there. You qualify to be on the insurance board. Right there. That we don't even need... don't even worry about it. We ain't got to worry about it. You qualify. You worked at CVS and you did a little stint at 7-Eleven and you did go to college. All right, so there you go. You qualify. So he didn't say that she was a... What he said was she brazenly slept her way into politics. That's what he said. Now he's coming under assault and attack because he said that. Now, he also referred to the NBA photographer Bill Baptist. And I remember listening to him. He said Bill Baptist or Bill Baptiste. Don't know how to say his name. But who shared a meme on Facebook. Now, Bill Baptiste, an NBA photographer for 30 years. 30 years. Do you know all the people that he photographed during those 30 years? We talk about Michael Jordan. We talk about LeBron James. We talking about 30 years back, Elvin Hayes. We're talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We're talking about Magic Johnson. We're talking about some great Larry Bird. We're talking about some great basketball players he's had the opportunity to photograph over 30 years. And yeah, Cheryl Swoops, that's WNBA. It's okay. It's a hobby. It's not really sport. Anyway, because if it was a sport, it would be worth watching. I'm just saying. So, NBA photographer Bill Baptiste was fired because he put up a logo on his... And I love the way he tried to explain it away like, I'm just trying to show what the other side's doing. Really? No. See, this is what Bill Baptiste put up. The logo said, Joe in the hole. Joe in the hole. That's what the logo said. Now, Rush Limbaugh did not call her a... Alright? And I wouldn't call her a... Alright? But, Joe in the hole is the logo. Alright? And it shows her sucking on the J. It does. I'm not lying to you. It shows her sucking on the J. And apparently, she's skilled. She's crafted. She's got experience. She's a professional at this. You can't be an amateur and come away with a $142,000 job. That's not an amateur. That's a pro right there. That girl's a pro. Alright? For all of y'all chicks who sleep with the man at Wendy's and you move from the fryer bin up to the cash register, that's sleazy. Okay? You're amateur. She's a pro. Alright? Got the 142. Now, according to a transcript of his August 14th show, Limbaugh said he posted an image that read Joe in the hole. Ho. Now, what do you think that's about? Joe in the hole. He didn't call her a hoe. He pointed to the logo. The logo says Joe and the hoe. All right? Anyway, so he's Baptiste gone. Joe and the hoe. Limbaugh never condemns the sexist language. How is it sexist? How is it sexist? If a man did the same thing, he'd be a hoe too. All right? If a man did the same thing, he would be a hoe too. But how many men have to sleep their way to get to the top? Well, there's some gay men. All right. But the bottom line is, how many men have to sleep their way? Well, there's some guys who have to sleep with a woman to get that promotion. I understand. But the bottom line is, if he did it, he a hoe. But Kamala Harris ain't at all. Okay? She's somebody who loves somebody. And we all gotta love somebody. I feel deeply moved right here. I feel the spirit coming on me, moving me to the left, moving me to the right. Oh, we got a hoe tonight. There we go. Now, during the segment, Limbaugh quotes part of the article which states, "It is no secret but public knowledge that Kamala Harris slept her way up into California political life by being a very public escort. Public escort. What do you call a public escort? Okay? So for those of you who are following along at home who don't know what a public escort is, that's all. But I wouldn't call Kamala Harris up. Okay? Because that'd be wrong. She's a public escort in a mattress. The article said mattress for California Democrat Kingmaker Willie Brown. It accused Kamala Harris, who Black Lives Matter wants to endorse, who Antifa wants to endorse, who communists want to endorse, who Marxists want to endorse, who socialists want to endorse. They called her a mattress. Now, I've known a lot of in my lifetime, but I've never known a woman to be called a mattress. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got to be skilled to be a mattress. That's a whole new level. That's like I play pee-wee football. That's a whole new level when you get to the NFL. Whole new level. All right? She went from being a public escort to being a mattress. How many people can get on stage right now and say I was a mattress for Willie Brown? All right. So, I don't see here where Limbaugh called her a hoe. I see everywhere here where Limbaugh refers to other people calling her a hoe. But I wouldn't dare call her a, because that would be totally unprofessional. And by the way, this is what Limbaugh said. And by the way, if anybody knows her backside, it's Willie Brown. I mean in the biblical intimate sense. He knows her backside. They both acknowledge that she knows his, even though his backside is not as big as hers was. There you go. So apparently, he gave her a compliment on the backside. She apparently has lost weight. Why can't you just accept that you lost weight? That's what he said to you. He didn't call you up. What he said was that you have a smaller backside than you used to have. There are lots of women out there today with like a smaller backside than they used to have. Like a smaller front side than they used to have. Like a smaller mid-size than they used to have. They would. So you should just be happy, you little, that nobody is calling you up. Not me. I wouldn't dare call you up. Not at all. Mr. Willie Brown would call you up. And Rush Limbaugh did not call you up. So Kamala Harris, you are a, but I wouldn't dare call you a at all. Because that would be rude. You are a mattress. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back right after this. You're a mattress.
Hello, my name is
everyone,
James.
And I'm Gigi.
And baby Jenny, that's Kenya.
Yeah, so
So
this
we are
is
here.
Riviera Maya.